Okay, somebody requested that I do this video, so somebody gave me this idea. It was a good idea. Okay, this one is pound for pound, and we use this to qualify that we're talking about per pound of, usually it's body weight. So, for example, I told you guys that when I was a teenager, I was super skinny, and small. And so I got into a fight with this kid who was kind of a bully, right? And I won. I mean, the guy didn't want to mess with me anymore. It wasn't like I it wasn't like the fight lasted very long because there were adults, there. But anyway, there was this guy who, uh, well, it was kind of funny. He was a kind of a drunk that lived in the area, and where I got into a fight with this guy was in a bar, because when we were teenagers, we would go to play billiards, and there was just really nothing to do around there, so that was the best thing we could do. So this guy always said, "This," pointing at me, "this guy is pound for pound the toughest guy in town," right? And he was just trying to make me feel good. He was happy to see that I stood up for myself. So instead of saying he's the toughest guy in town, which I obviously wasn't, because there were these huge farm boys that would easily beat me in a fight, right? But he said pound for pound, the toughest guy in town, which what he was trying to say was for every pound of body weight that I was the toughest guy, right? And you could say that about, like, uh, let's say if you've got a little cat, right? And you see this all the time. A cat, pound for pound, is often tougher than a dog, right? They can move, and they're pound for pound they can beat a dog, right? Because they got skills, right? Skills, right? So um, so pound for pound, the the cat is going to be tougher than a lot of animals, right? Um, so we're saying per every pound of body weight, they're tougher. So pound for pound, uh, it could be anything. You could say uh, pound for pound. Let's say pound for pound, this meat is uh, the most how can I say it, the most nutritious, right? Pound for pound, right? Like, let's say if it's a really small portion, but it has a lot of nutrition in it, then you could say pound for pound, this is the most nutritious meat on the market, right? Or pound for pound. You could also say pound for pound, ground beef is the most economical, pound for pound. Just always measuring in terms of 1 pound. Okay? So I think that's should be good enough. I gave just some examples. Means, you know, based on what a pound is, right? Like a portion, right? Okay, so I will talk to you on the next idiom.